In today's video, we're going to be converting my DIY utility camper into a mobile hunting blind. And hopefully we can successfully hunt my first ever white-tailed deer next to the backyard pond. We've done all the prep work leading up to this. We've put out a deer feeder. We've put trail cams out. We've got deer confirmed on the property right next to the backyard pond. We've even got a racked buck, a definite shooter buck for me that has shown himself coming to our feeder. The last piece of the puzzle now is a mobile, stealthy place to hunt from. Now this thing is currently set up to be lived in. It's a camper. That was the whole reason we built it to begin with. So obviously we're going to have to make some alterations to make this thing more huntable, like adding camouflage, cutting different shooting holes, making it comfortable where you can sit for long periods of time, all while maintaining that same camping ability so we can spend the night in this thing if we need to. And if I know anything, I know we're gonna need some help from the man, the myth, the legend, Neighbor Daryl, who was the main designer behind the scenes to help me execute that mission from converting a normal utility trailer into a camper like it is now. But before we go visit our good friend Neighbor Daryl, I need to make sure that this DIY camper has not been taken over by insects, rodents, snakes, my wife, the kids, who knows? Let's go check it out. Guys, remember the NFG Bravo launch is now live. We got a bunch of new t-shirt designs, hoodies, hats, you name it. And of course, we've got my t-shirt, the Give Me Liberty Eagle t-shirt that I based off the 101st Airborne Eagle, the unit that I served in when I was in the Army. I'm actually having a little competition with Jigging with Jordan and Lunkers TV, the other two guys that co-own NFG with myself, to see who can sell out their own individual shirts the fastest. So right now, me and Jigging with Jordan are neck and neck. We're like right there next to each other. So guys, do me a favor, grab one of my shirts if you want to. If not, just let me know how you feel about this new drop. You guys have been smashing my shirt, grabbing it off the shelf. I really appreciate it. And if you don't like my shirt, we got something for everybody on this new drop. Back to the hunt, boys. I thought you were gonna chase after me.
I can't run and look through this camera at the same time.
That's fair. You never had the pleasure of spending the night in the utility camper, did you?
I never had the pleasure.
I'm just nervous there's gonna be a massive wasp nest somewhere on this thing that I'm not gonna see until it's really too late. Here's to hoping.
Are you going in?
Oh yeah, I gotta check this thing and make sure it's still usable.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what was gonna come out of there. Okay. It actually looks pretty tightly sealed in here. Okay, so there's a lot of cobwebs, and there was a bee that got in here and he got trapped. He got trapped and he emaciated himself to death. That's a little sad.
That is sad.
We like bees. No wasp nest that I'm seeing.
That's really shocking.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
This thing has been sitting next to our gym for at least 6 months or a year. I don't see any animals that have been in here, no like droppings from rats or anything. There's a couple little spider webs here and there, but overall this thing is pretty tight. Lights still work?
Lights.
My goodness, we must have done a halfway decent job.
Did Daryl help with this?
Oh, he did.
Okay, well there you go.
Oh yeah, believe me, I wasn't taking the credit for it. This was all Daryl's brainchild right here. I was just manual labor. I wonder if the old AC unit works. We should hook this thing up to some power. Oh, it got the extension cord. Let me go plug this thing in real quick. This little setup that we had was sick. We got the little retractable extension cord here. All right. How do you turn it on?
Oh, we got power.
That's pretty sick and cool. So that means the outlets that we installed still have power. They still work. Got the AC. Now none of this is really gonna matter because we're gonna convert this thing to some type of a hunting blind. And last time I checked, you can't have a running AC when you're trying to hunt deer. Now, look at this though, babe. Is this, does that look moldy or is that just dirt?
It kind of looks like mold to me.
Okay, so it's not perfect, but I'd say that little bit of mold, if you're just gonna be sitting in here for a few hours hunting, probably not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, you could probably get a Clorox wipe and just wipe it up and kill it.
That's why I married you.
Yes.
Big brain. Okay, well, you wanna hop on in there, Darren? Wanna give her a ride? Give her a spin? No? All right, well, she's still intact. She's in one piece. The tires look good. The trailer that it's on looks good. So this thing is ready to roll, no pun intended. And we're gonna have to make a lot of alterations so we can sit in this thing, shoot out of it, you know, and be able to camp in it. We gotta be able to in this thing, okay? If we can't comfortably what are we doing? The point is, you can see the potential here, dear.
Oh yeah.
She's ready to go.
It's a solid structure.
Ow, there we go. All right. So I first got the idea to convert a utility trailer into a camper from a TikTok that I saw a couple years ago. Now that person's design and their vision was a little bit different than mine, but I took that initial idea that I had seen, I brought it to my neighbor Daryl, and with his huge outdoorsman brain, him and I were able to kind of come up with an even better version of what we had seen. Something that was insulated, was totally secure from the elements, safe from wildlife, something you could camp in and be comfortable. We were able to take this thing on adventure after adventure once it was completed. We took this awesome little camper to a state park. We took this thing on hunting trips, overnight fishing, camping, survival trips. And let me tell you, there's a lot worse places to stay overnight in than that bad boy right there. Oh, it feels amazing to have this thing towed up right now, pulling it around the backyard pond. About to give her a little bit of a makeover, if you will. I know what you're thinking. You were not expecting to see this monstrosity again, were you? Well, I mean, only if you're gonna cook. If you're making dinner, then I will. Yeah, you remember building this damn thing?
I do.
Now, we had that little incident on the highway. You weren't there for that, but my first time towing this thing down the highway, we had a little bit of an incident. Dude, the roof just flew off. Dude, I'm not kidding. I looked back for a second and I realized, oh my God, there should definitely be a roof there. No!
Hey, guys.
In case you guys were wondering what it looks like to have a strap hook come flying at you that I pulled myself. Yeah. And ever since then, it's been strapped down. So I wonder if we can even still raise it. Yeah, because I don't think we've tried to do it since then. Okay, now how do we even do this?
There's a hole right here.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, yeah, right through there.
Right there.
Okay, there we go. All right, the backside's up. Let's see how this one's gonna go. Oh, yeah.
This side's heavier.
Yes, it is.
I think.
All right, I got it. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yes, sir. Look at that, Daryl. Your design is still flawless.
Yeah.
Look at that. There we go. Yeah, that is exactly the original design, was to be able to park it once you got to your campsite, pop the top up, and now you have just an entire home to yourself. I was just shocked that I could stand up in here. I mean, I'm 6'1", and I can completely stand up in here. Don't hit my head. Even on the sides, I'm barely touching. This is interesting. So you're saying we could point it this way towards where I want to hunt. That way I don't even have to touch this screen.
If you're hunting an area like on your property, they just got one shooting lane back.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if I'm sitting right here, and this stool is adjustable too, so I can bring this down. It's gonna be perfect. Got a camera right here. Oh yeah.
Lay prone and open this door.
You're right. Oh my gosh, could. Totally could.
Yeah, you can lay prone right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what we need, is options. We need to think outside the box here. Okay.
But see, you can pull this thing out to the edge of a field, just sit in it.
Yeah. Definitely could. Once it's camoed and once everything's been taken care of. All right, brackets. Yep, silver brackets definitely need to not be shining silver. Like this is right here. It's a great example of what you're saying, Daryl. Like the rest of this thing is totally fine, but that right there is catching sun right now. Yeah. And if it was an animal over there, they would see that.
That bright spot right there.
Yeah. So this is going to make a big difference for stuff like that. Look at that. Now it's just invisible. Little details. Little hinges too.
Yeah, I'd get everything in silver.
So outside, green and gray, light green. This is more like matte green.
Put some stripes in there, just kind of some blotches, stripes, or.
Okay. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, some curvy stuff.
Like a figure eight. I don't know what I'm doing. Not artistic in that way at all. Looks like one of my daughters scribbled with a pen. Call it the old doghouse. Because when my wife gets mad at me, this is where she sends me. Well, you can't read it, but I can read it. It says LOJO's Doghouse. This is starting to look a lot better. This is starting to look like a hunting blind already. All right, things are starting to happen here, boys. This is starting to look legit. That's what we need to do.
Window right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, this is gonna work so good.
There ain't no sense trying to save this screen. I still do.
All right, that should just come off. There we go. All right, this is all working out perfectly too. Opening day of rifle season here in Alabama, where I live, is coming up in about 4 days from where I'm filming this video. And as you guys know, if you've ever hunted before, if you can only hunt 1 day per year, you'd like it to be opening day. You know, the deer aren't as spooky, they haven't been shot at as much yet, probably haven't been shot at all really. And this gives us our best chance at this first deer ever on the pond side of the property. Oh, you got some burlap?
Yeah.
It's like a long rectangular piece, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a huge piece. Just
Once you get the first nail, I'll pull it tight.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just start her right there. All right. Should have went a little higher with that. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be so perfect, man. Gosh. Uh-oh.
He sees a
What's he
buzzer.
got?
That buzzer. He sees a shadow. See?
Get him, Magga.
Get him, Magga. Get him. Get him.
He comes running back over.
Get him, Magga. Get him.
All right, Daryl's gonna do a little. He's gonna do a little sight check. He's gonna see how well he can see me while I'm in here. Of course, I'm wearing the whitest of white hoodies. Just go like the black NFG shirt. Just kind of see. Can you see me? How far away do you think you are? Yeah, okay. So from that far away, of course this is a GoPro, it makes everything look further away, but as I back into here, you can see just how dark it is in here. I mean, when you're looking in, there's nothing in here to let light reflect off of, and it's gonna hide my silhouette really well.
That just goes to show me how important gloves are. I can see when you stuck your hand up back there.
Wow. And that's really the only thing you can
I
see.
couldn't see your face, I couldn't see your body, but I see when you stuck your hand like that.
As you guys can see, we got a nice face layer going on here with the mobile hunting blind at this point. I feel great about how this thing looks now. And these were just really simple changes we made. It's not like we spent all day converting this thing. It just needed some camouflage in the right areas. It needed some inside work to kind of cut down the silhouette. We needed to kind of workshop where I was gonna be shooting out of primarily, which we think is gonna be this little front spot right here. It's so crazy how much of a difference just painting the roof right there, hanging this burlap, just how much darker it is in here. All right, as you guys can see, we've got the old mobile hunting blind pretty much all ready to go. I did a little bit more tidying up with the burlap on the inside last night in the shop, but I think it's tight on the inside. It's really, we thought of everything that we could think of in a 24-hour period of time, everything that a miniature shooting house is gonna need to blend into its environment, to hide the silhouettes on the inside from the people that are inside of it, and give us the most effective shooting lanes. Well, now the last thing left to do is to place this thing exactly where we want it to be, where we can overlook our feeder, we can see basically the entire pond as well. And I think we're gonna have the most hunting opportunities where I'm thinking about putting it. So the area that I'm kind of gonna be facing and hunting is kind of all those hay bales, that feeder, that opening right there. And then all the way over here to the left, we're gonna have all the pond, the backyard swamp way down there. So what I'm thinking is, if I pull it directly into that little crevice between our animal pen fence and the wood line right here, that should be perfect. That should do it. How am I gonna get out now? I didn't really think this part through that much. Okay, let's just take a look at where this thing's located at right this second. Once we get this thing off of the buggy, we might even be able to push it back into the wood line a little bit more. But if I'm up in there, I'm gonna have a really good viewpoint of all of this out here. I think it's gonna work. I don't know. You guys let me know down below what we should have done differently or what you would have recommended, you know, because there's a million ways to do something like this, but I think this is gonna work. Okay, what about like that right there? Oh, does that do anything? Whew, that thing is heavy. That's getting closer. I think we still need to angle it a little bit more here. That just helped a lot, I think. Yes, it did. Oh guys, check this out. Look at how good it camouflages itself from this far away. Look at it, you can barely see it. We're only like 120 yards away at this point, but this hay bale is like right in between where I want to hunt and where the stand is. But just look at that though, guys. Look at how dark it is on the inside of that stand right now. That is so stinking cool. The deer are never gonna know that that's even here. So once neighbor Daryl gets his tractor over here, he's just gonna push this one out of the way, probably just push it into the woods, or I don't even know, but we're gonna get that out of the way, and we are gonna have a clear line of sight all the way from that stand to where I think the deer are gonna come out. It's a lot of areas for wildlife to show themselves. Oh my goodness, guys. So listen to this. Just got word from my property neighbor who owns like 100 and something acres directly next to the 17 acres that we are hunting. And he just told me that he is going to be bulldozing and driving heavy equipment all through the woods right behind where I'm gonna be hunting. Like, so close to where you can see it from the feeder. You can literally see bulldozers in the woods from where my deer feeder is. So, oh, opening day is literally like 2 days away at this point, and there's just bulldozers pushing trees over in the woods. So, this is going to be an interesting little obstacle to overcome in this video that I was not prepared to deal with. You guys know, I mean, deer can get used to things like construction and loud noises and dogs barking and cars driving past, but they're not going to be used to it if it just starts happening out of nowhere. It's going to take them a long period of time to get used to it. Well, I don't really know how this is going to play out, but I was not too excited to hear about that, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? You know, it's their property. Yoinks, the timing of this is not great. Who starts a construction project 4 days before opening day, rifle season, in the South? I just don't understand the timing of this. Maybe this is just another challenge that we need to overcome in this video. I don't know. I don't want to get too focused on this because we've done all the work. We know there's deer around. Let's just go sit. Let's not think about it too much, but I really hope that this construction project by my neighbor does not end up screwing up this entire week's worth of hunts. Here's for hoping. All right, boys, it's about 5:30 in the morning of opening day. I slipped in here pretty easy. It's like a 2-minute walk from my house. About 25 more minutes until first light. First gunshot of the morning. My freaking fish feeder's going off. Why is it going off this early? Oh, that's an oversight. I feel really well hidden in this stand right now. That's the third gunshot I've heard this morning, and that was close. Maybe I'll spook something my way. Dang. Been sitting for about 2.5 hours now. I'm gonna sit for a little bit longer, but I really thought this was my opportunity this morning specifically because that heavy equipment that my neighbor's using, they're about to fire that equipment up here in about 10 minutes to start working today. So I know once the equipment kicks on, I don't have any confidence the deer's gonna come over here at that point. It's gonna be too loud, too much stuff happening. Dang, I really thought deer would come out this morning. All right, so you guys saw we had no luck on opening day morning. That was a bummer, not gonna lie to you. I can't help but thinking that it has something to do with all the heavy equipment running and the woods being cleared like right next to the area where I was hunting. Kind of feel like I got screwed a little bit on that one, but it's also just bad luck, I feel like. But it's 1 day later, and I checked the trail cam from opening day evening. We actually had deer coming up to that feeder, so there's definitely deer around. I'm gonna give it another shot again this afternoon, evening, do a little evening sit and see if that changes my luck at all. See you boys out there. Let's do an official range. Okay, well, the actual wood line back there is 180 yards, so I feel pretty good about that. Depending on where the deer comes out, we could be looking at a 100-yard shot, but up to 180. But I feel really comfortable in that range. That 30-06 does 200, 250 yards. I am definitely hearing voices in the woods right here. Dude, you gotta be me. I think they're firing up that heavy equipment right now. It's an hour and a half before sundown. Oh my God, it's gonna so hard. Well, that's not gonna lead to a very successful hunt, I don't think. We've gotten to the point where I can see better through the camera than I can with my naked eyes. Which probably means we've got about 2 minutes of legal shooting light left. Of course we got a deer coming in, like right after I put everything down. She's definitely checking me out. How many times that happened to you guys? I know it seems like the camera is showing her really well, but this camera is actually better than my naked eye. I can't see shit. So I'm not gonna do it. There's Magga, loudest dog in Alabama. Oh, I see something moving. Oh, dang it. It's a mama doe and her yearling. Dang it, I'm definitely not gonna shoot them. That's good though, they're coming out way earlier than they did last night. Maybe more will come out. It's a good sized doe. I would absolutely love to take that doe if she wasn't with her yearling. Oh, it's so cool. Come on, something else step out. I've actually seen this mama doe and young deer on camera a lot down here. So I'm not surprised to see them tonight. She's not even looking in my direction, so. Yay! The mobile hunting blind is technically a success because I could shoot this deer right now for sure, but I'm not gonna do that. Got about 10 or 15 more minutes of shooting light left. I really hope something else comes out. Daryl always tells me that, you know, it's good to just let some deer eat out there. Just leave them alone. Because the big bucks and the more spooky deer might be in the woodline looking right now. And if they see deer that are out there eating, they're going to assume that it's safe for them to come out. It's a good theory. Alright, well, there they go. Just kind of walking off. Another doe just stepped out. Oh, it's eating right where those other two were. Oh, there must have been another one with them. Man, these deer like coming out right before dark, don't they? Gosh, I can barely sized doe. Come on, turn broadside for me. She's facing right towards me. Oh my gosh. I can't shoot at her like this. Oh, come on, go broadside for me, baby. Come on, we got like 5 minutes left. I can just barely see her. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. I mean, she is facing directly towards me. I can't get a shot off. At least I don't feel like it's a good ethical shot for me. I would give anything for this deer to go broadside for me just for a second. Dude, there are like crazy good shots going off right now. Like all around me. I have heard almost a dozen high-powered rifle shots this morning. That is insane. That was like multiple shots right there. Just my normal morning dose of heavy equipment operation. It's freaking 6:20 in the morning. Sunrise is at 6:30. And they're driving bulldozers through the woods right behind where I'm hunting. Me. That is just, I mean, I just don't know what to say. Well, it's official. My neighbor has me. There's just no other way to say it. And I'm sure he doesn't mean to, but that's definitely what's happening right now. You guys want to see something really sad? So obviously we got the pond right there. Neighbor Daryl's house over there. If I pan up this way, you can see this giant hole in the woods right there. So that's where they've cut through. And that kind of shows like how close the property line is. That one stake right there, that's part of the property line, and it kind of shoots straight back up that way towards the highway. My house is up there on the hill. And then it comes down here. This is right by the pond, guys. I mean, the pond's right here. And we've got a bulldozer actively just crushing trail out here. Oh, he's like right there doing something. I mean, there's nothing I can do, so it's not like I'm mad about it or anything, you know? I mean, people can do what they want to do, so it's not a big deal. We're just gonna have to adapt and just keep rolling with the punches. But this is one hell of a gut punch right here, I feel like. Just imagine trying to hunt and just hearing this noise, you know? Beep, beep, beep. Trees crashing down. That's a shame, man. I hate to see it, but it is what it is. All right, well, I'm gonna come over here and check the camera and see if we see anything new. Maybe some deer coming in at night or something, I don't know. Antler deer, God, look at that fricker. That's a big-bodied animal right there. There's my property neighbors walking through. So that's kind of how close we're talking about here when we're talking about property neighbors. You know, we're talking about right on the property line, basically, where all this new construction and work is happening. Well, this has been an eventful first week of hunting season. I mean, it didn't really go down the way we wanted it to. You know, obviously we have not fired a shot yet, but we have had opportunities. We have had deer come out. They're coming out right where I think they're coming out. Cannot believe we didn't see anything opening day. I mean, considering how many deer we were seeing showing up here leading up to opening day, I am shocked we saw nothing. You know, I'm quite certain that all of the construction and stuff going on, I mean, it's right here. It's right here. I know that's having a detrimental effect on my hunting, but you know what? I can't cry about that. Those guys are doing what they want to do with their property, and you know what? God bless America. It's just really bad timing for if you're trying to hunt, you know, to start up your construction operation the week of opening day rifle season. It's just unfortunate timing for me, but it's okay. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna cry about it because we gotta remember, this blind, its whole purpose was that it's a mobile hunting blind. I mean, it's on wheels, for God's sakes. we can move this thing anywhere we want to. So I think it's what we need to do. I really wanted to shoot one right here near the pond, right across the way where we've got that feeder set up, but it just looks like that's not in the cards for me this year. But I think that gives us an opportunity, honestly. So the next hunting video that I do, we're gonna move this thing to a different location and perhaps even target a different species, because remember, we've got bobcats, coyotes running around. Got a random beaver down there that's just building dams at will down in the backyard swamp. And we've got wild hogs around at all times. So there's plenty of other creatures to try to target out of this mobile hunting blind. And we're definitely gonna do that. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversion process though, which was the most fun of this entire video, besides actually seeing deer come to our feeder, which was really cool. I'm sure you guys would agree, there are a lot worse hunting stands in the world than this bad boy right here. I mean, I am loving the way this thing turned out, and it's only gonna get better from here. Give me some tips on how to make this a better mobile hunting blind. One thing I was already thinking was, it's so loud in here when you step in certain areas. I'm thinking some type of carpeting down here would really help dampen the sound, just stepping and walking, but that's just one of many upgrades that we need to make to this thing. I'm still waiting to get my first deer down of the season, but it's gonna happen, and hopefully it happens out of this thing right here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe because we're gonna be doing a lot more hunting. I'll see you guys in the next one.